Hi, it's Brad with Engadget. If you're like us, you've been waiting with anticipation for HTC's newest pair of devices to come out, ever since they were officially announced at Mobile World Congress in February. We're talking about the HTC One S and the One X. So what's so special about these two phones? The spec sheets are amazing, but the design and materials are also worth getting excited about. In this video, we're going to focus on the One S, but feel free to check out a review of the One X at Engadget.com to get the full rundown of that device. There's a lot to love about the S. It takes advantage of a 1.5 GHz dual-core Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 processor. That is a great processor, by the way, and we definitely mean it takes advantage of it. We've never seen benchmark scores this high on a phone. And keep in mind, we're including the One X in the statement, with its Tegra 3 quad-core processor. Yes, the S beat the X, and every other phone on the planet for that matter, in nearly every category. Now, in fairness, the benchmarks are slightly skewed due to the S using a smaller screen with worse resolution. But still, the phone never lagged or skipped a beat in a real-life use. It was simply the fastest Android device we've ever had the privilege of playing with. In terms of display, the S has a QHD pen-tile display with a pixel density of 256 ppi. We've definitely seen worse, but we'd compare it to the quality of the Droid Razr. The pixelation is certainly visible, and when viewing the S side by side with the X's 720p non-pentile SLCD2 screen, which comes out at 312 ppi, it's very easy to see which one is leaps and bounds better. The One S has a meager 16 gigabytes of total storage space. That's a normal amount for mid-range phones, but there's no option for a micro SD card if you need extra real estate for your music or documents. At least HTC has agreed to meet us halfway by offering 25 gigs of Dropbox space for all One series devices. And you can also take advantage of other cloud services like Google Music. But we can't recommend these options if your data plan is capped. Then there's the camera. The S and the X use the same sensor, maxing at 8 megapixel resolution and 1080p full HD video capture. The images turn out great, but the more impressive part of the camera functionality is the image sense technology built into all Sense 4.0 devices. This gives you the opportunity to take images and video simultaneously. Now you can also fire off a machine gun-like series of continuous shots. Then you pick out your favorites and you delete the rest if you prefer. These features really help the One series shine even more than its competitors. For right now, at least. Let's take a tour of the One S. It's incredibly thin at 7.8 millimeters and light at 4.2 ounces and feels wonderful in our hands. First, you'll see the 4.3-inch display on the front with 3 capacitive buttons below and recessed front-facing cam above. On the left, you're going to find the micro USB charger port, and nothing else. Going to the top, you have the 3.5mm headphone jack and the power button. Going over to the right, the S sports a volume rocker with no camera shutter. The back is by far the most important story though. With the exception of the soft touch plastic on top and the bottom, the S utilizes a process called micro-arc oxidation, in which aircraft-grade aluminum is zapped with 10,000 volts of electricity to give it a solid ceramic-like treatment, and certainly a more durable feel. Still staying at the back, and going to the bottom, you're going to notice the Beats audio branding and the speaker grill. If you actually like Beats, you'll love the fact that the One S gives you the opportunity to use the Beats sound enhancement for third-party apps like Pandora and Slacker. The chassis of the S is unibody, but it offers one small opening on the top in which you can access the micro SIM card slot. Naturally, we would have preferred to see a micro SD slot included here, but it's nowhere to be seen. And last but not least, the 1650 mAh battery is not user removable. It lasts a decent 8.5 hours in a rundown test, but if you need more than that, well, too bad. Now, if you're interested in learning more about Sense 4.0, go to our in-depth review on Engadget, and we'll have a full video waiting for you. Once again, this is Brad with Engadget taking a look at the HTC One S.